Okay, today I want to dedicate this video to our American son Theo, who passed away in Costa Rica, and the 80s Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, I tell you, that was sad, and it hit home closer than I think, because Ozzy was in the 80s. He was an 80s person. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If you go back on my video when I told you how they grooming J.D. Vance to be the next president of the United States. Yeah, you know, I hate to be right. I like to be right in this. Now people are reporting how J.D. Vance is moving in on Trump and how he's preparing to be the next president because they don't need Trump no more. Trump did all he gonna do. He created chaos, and like I said, now they grooming grooming J.D. Vance to take over. So he said, "Well, how you smell that? No, you can't say that because you know MAGA is strong. No, it's not. No, it's not. See, he did a mistake. See, Trump did a mistake. They probably would have kept him a little bit longer, but he did a mistake. He had a parade. Yeah, that's what did it. He had a parade. He had a parade that was less than 10,000 people. And then he saw all these folks out there. There was millions of people out there protesting no king, but he didn't have less than 10,000. All these mega supporters that he claimed that he had less than 10,000. That told the powers that be Trump had no more power in his constituents. But Trump is still trying to drag it up. You say, how? Well, how you think now all of a sudden? Now all of a sudden, the Epstein files are coming out. Everybody's demanding the Epstein files. They were promised the Epstein files. And then one of his closest allies, that's not a political, came out and said, you know why they ain't released it? Because Trump is already in it. Now, in the first term, Trump didn't submit his medical records. Because we probably all knew that, you know, somebody his age eating at McDonald's day in and day out. You know, even me, I can eat, if I ate McDonald's, and I'm not a big person. See, you can tell I'm not a big person now. But if I ate McDonald's for a month, maybe a month and a half, I guarantee you my body would be off the chain. It would be off. So you can imagine how it is with him. He's more older and he's not releasing anything. Well, until now. Now see, and then he had that lady Maxwell. She's sitting up in jail. She's doing time for something that he started calling a hoax. See, they was already having it under control because Congress had already said they wasn't going to release it. And see, Trump should have just left it alone like that. But see, people kept asking for the Epstein files, and him being petty, he didn't know how to let it go. So he started coming up with these hoax. Then he started talking about how he was going to arrest Obama. And I told you in the video, I hope he do. Because if he do, that sets a precedence that if he going to arrest Obama, they going after him. So now the powers of be are tired of all this chaos. They can't control him. See, that was, you know, the first term, the people had guardrails. They controlled him with guardrails. All this stuff that he was trying to do back then, you know, he had people, joints of chiefs, he had all of this. But see, when Project 2025 came out and the Supreme Court came up with all that immunity, they said, okay, we're going to test the waters now. We're going to start testing the waters. And that's how he started putting all this stuff in motion. Within 6 months, he had signed over, I think, 307 or 70 executive orders. He's gonna go down in history as the biggest executive order president we've ever had. So now you gotta ask. He said, well, okay, so they can't control him. How do they get rid of him? Well, they gave you a tip of the iceberg on his medical record. Said he showed his legs and his hands, and they started dispelling that and started saying that they disclosed that he has a medical condition. One of several, you can tell. Dementia probably is one of them. Then you had J.D. Vance asking for the Epstein files, the letter saying that I didn't know you could put it out like that. Don't they have to have permission? See, they're spewing out everything. Now all these videos that you never seen, things that you never heard start coming out. Well, I think and then now Ms. Maxwell is asking for a new trial. The Justice Department is getting ready to go talk to her to find out how they can resolve this. See, they steady trying, and it's not that they steady trying to protect Trump anymore. They're trying to protect Project 2025. So, but Trump is now the mainstream thorn now. He's a thorn. So now they got a plot how to get rid of him. So by the end of this year, J.D. Vance is going to be president. He's not a likable guy. And he already said he don't like Trump. So they already know that. That's why they got him there. They didn't get him there because if you notice, they didn't hire none of these black folks that was kissing Trump's ass, being his friend, talking about how just love you, Trump. I just love you. No, they wouldn't do that. Why would you get a massa boy to do Project 2025? Because when they got tired of Trump and they got tired of the uses of Trump, they had to have a vice president that didn't like him. J.D. Vance didn't like him, so that when they did the transitional over from that to him, that he wouldn't be going back being loyal to Trump. Makes sense, don't it? How you get an enemy, get rid of an enemy, you get his enemy to become his friend. And then that's how you can destroy him. So Trump knows that J.D. Vance is trying to kick him out. He knows Stephen Miller and them trying to kick him out. He knows that all them folks that's in there are trying to get rid of him now. Because the Epstein file going to come out. It's going to be damaging. They know that they need somebody who can be on Project 2025 without all these distractions now. So now how they do that is that now they releasing certain things. They're getting you ready because they had already made a deal with Elon Musk and that Maxwell lady. If you think I'm lying, watch. Stuff finna start coming out between what's this, July, August, and September. It's gonna it's gonna show he's a pedophile. Why you think he's suing that man from the Wall Street Journal? Because he know that man got some stuff. He know that man got some stuff. So now it's time to get rid of Trump. So either they know he has a deadline on him by health or other things, but do I think Trump is gonna resign? No, he's not. No, he's not, because in Trump's mind, he still think that he is the all. He still think that he's it. He still think it's all. What about his fan base? Well, he doesn't have a fan base, and those who continue to worship him and everything, God gonna take care of them. God dealing with them. Because, there's a video where this woman painting Trump, and they saying, oh, man. God just sitting back saying, you know what, I'm so tired of these mofos. I got to show you. You know what happened. And so that's how they going to get 90% of MAGA to turn on Trump, is that them Epstein files going to come out, and they're going to turn on him. They're going to turn on him. Trump ain't in the position. He's not a jail person. See, he couldn't do what Ms. Maxwell did. one thing I say about women is that women, I think if women go to jail, they all right. But men, they go to crying and snitting and snotting and stuff. But anyway, so that's how this is gonna play out. That's how it's gonna play out. So he ain't finna be president no more. See, he messed up his ties with Elon. He messed up his ties. He got J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance already said he didn't like him. Why would you get somebody that talked about you so bad, that you'll make them your vice president? And see, Rubio is sitting there, if you notice, look how catatonic he is. Like, he just a warm body in a seat. If you ever worked in administrative, you done seen them all the time. He just there. And you know why? Because he's sitting there catatonic, because he sold his soul. He sold his integrity. He sold everything he owned to Trump, to be in Trump's administration. Ain't that something? That's why I tell everybody, good money, everything good ain't for you. Every money ain't good for you. And just because somebody may be rich or they can do something for you, don't mean that they ain't messed up in the head. See, one thing about it is this right here. Now, I'm going to tell all you folks about, even those who don't believe in him. One thing I notice about my God is this right here. Whatever he gonna do, he don't need you to be low down and all of that. Because he can take care of it all by himself. But you have these white Christian nationalists and some of these dumb black folks that feel that, and some of these Latinos who wanted to be white, thinking that they are gonna eradicate the problem. And yes, we do have an immigration problem for all of you. I heard this man that works at the Social Security office in there talking about Trump and the big beautiful bill and stuff. Really, that was against the law. And if you go in them federal buildings and when you see how Barack was so poised and it was lit up and how his photo was, how Biden photo was lit up and poised and everything, how the American flag was just Bush, it just said America. Even when we thought Bush was bad, but come to find out he better than what we got now. Anyway, but they poised, they got on a great suit. Trump photo is like this, head all up and looking like a monster. I guess it's time for me to go. But I want to wrap this up and say that, you know what? Things are getting ready to change, whether you know it or not.